Nighttime leg cramps are not a magnesium deficiency. Most people are taking a magnesium supplement and still waking up at 2 a.m. with their calves in full lock. The problem isn't the mineral, it's the bioavailability. And the reason these beet greens and stems sitting at the bottom of your compost bin carry more absorbable magnesium than most supplements on the market comes down to one word: oxalates. And today in the lab, we're fixing that. Raw beet greens are packed with important minerals like magnesium, calcium, and iron, but they also contain something called oxalates, and they act like little thieves. They grab onto those minerals before your body has a chance to absorb them. So even though you're eating the nutrients, your body may not actually get to use them. Instead, that mineral oxalate combo often gets pushed out as waste. That's why some people keep taking more magnesium for muscle cramps, but the cramps keep coming back. The problem may not be low intake, it may be poor absorption. This is where a lacto-fermentation really changes the game. As the good bacteria like lactobacillus feeds on natural sugars in the brine, they create lactic acid. That acid helps break down the oxalates that were holding the minerals hostage. And once that bond breaks, minerals like magnesium become free for your body to actually absorb and use. Instead of passing right through you, that magnesium can finally get where it's needed: your muscles, your nerves, and the areas where those nighttime cramps often start. This is simple chemistry. Fermentation helps unlock minerals your body may have been missing all along. And that can be especially important as we get older because magnesium levels naturally decline with age, and nighttime circulation to the legs and feet often get weaker, making cramps even more common. Rinse the greens and stems thoroughly. We're removing surface debris but knocking native bacteria on the leaf surface. Those organisms are the engine of this fermentation. Do not scrub, do not use soap. Cut the stems into 2-inch segments. Surface area drives brine penetration and the fermentation rate. The greens can be easily torn by hand, and this isn't about precision cuts. It's all about mineral access. Precision starts with a zeroed scale. We use the total weight method to ensure the 2.5% brine is accurate. Place your jar on the scale and hit tare to set it back to zero. Next, pack the jar in alternating layers: stems, then greens, pressing firmly between each layer. Compression helps remove air pockets. Fermentation needs an oxygen-free environment. When oxygen gets trapped, it encourages mold. Cover the greens and stems completely with pure water, leaving room at the top for the glass weight. Now look at the scale. This number represents your total mass, vegetables and water combined. This is how we determine our exact salt dosage. A 2.5 salt to weight ratio is a reliable standard. It creates the perfect environment for beneficial bacteria to thrive while discouraging unwanted microbes. Pour the water from the jar into a second jar and add your sea salt. Shaking it ensures an even brine and prevents salt from clumping between the layers. Natural sea salt is vital because its trace minerals support the microbial activity. Now pour the brine back slowly. The greens will float. That's expected. Press everything below the water line and use a glass fermentation weight to hold them submerged. Any plant material above the brine line is exposed to oxygen, and that's where mold develops. The rule of thumb: below the line, it's medicine; above the line, it's compost. Lid goes on loose. This allows CO2 to vent automatically without letting oxygen back in. Store it at room temperature between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit, away from direct sunlight. By day 3, you'll see the breath of the ferment, small bubbles rising from the stems. That is your lactobacillus coming to life. Around day 5, give it a check. You might see a thin white film on the surface. That's calm yeast. It's harmless, but I love to remove it because it keeps the flavor profile clean. I have a short that goes through more detail on how to identify and remove the yeast. At this stage, trust your nose. It should be tart, bright, and alive. If you smell sulfur or see heavy cloudiness or fuzzy mold, discard it. A healthy ferment smells clean, tangy, and fresh. If you want to deepen that therapeutic profile, you can let it continue in a dark cupboard for up to 10 days. This allows the flavor to mature and the lactic acid to fully develop. By day 10, it's time to strain the brine. That liquid is your therapeutic product, while the greens become a delicious fermented food, perfect for salads or grain bowls. The brine goes into a separate sealed jar in the refrigerator. Once the harvest is complete, your storage strategy is what preserves the potency. We are moving these from the cupboard to the refrigerator to hit the pause button on bacterial activity. Store your strain daily dose in a sealed glass bottle. In the refrigerator, this electrolyte-rich tonic stays stable and medically active for up to 12 months. While the probiotic peak is in the first 90 days, the magnesium and the nitrates remain ready for your nightly recovery for a full year. Your greens and stems, store these in an airtight glass container as well, ensuring they stay slightly moistened with a splash of their own brine. These are your condiment medicine, best consumed within 3 to 6 months. Over time, the stems will lose that crunch and become silkier, but the mineral density remains unchanged. One lab rule: never double dip. Always use a sterilized utensil to remove your daily serving. Introducing new bacteria from a used spoon is the only way to compromise a long-term ferment. The protocol is simple: 2 to 4 ounces of brine 30 minutes before your evening meal. This timing is strategic. That is exactly when your legs need improved circulation the most. This is only half of the story. In our next video, we're moving to the beet roots and young ginger. And while this jar handles your electrolytes and circulation, the next one focuses on liver support pathways and the prebiotic roles of gingerols, feeding the very bacteria you just cultivated here. 2 jars, 1 integrated system. We're moving from compost bin to the medicine chest. That's pharmacology.